Hello and welcome back to another video, and we're talking about Nottingham Forest 2, West Ham United 0, and this is the aftermath. If you enjoy the aftermath, make sure to like the video and subscribe if you are new. And we're on the road to 500 subscribers, so if you could get that over the line for me before this year ends, I would much appreciate that. But yeah, let's get into it, man. We're going to talk about, well, kind of the game. I didn't watch the game, so it's very hard for me to comment on the game. But it's tiring now. It's tiring. We'll talk about... I'm going to try my best to refrain from talking about the media for as much as possible in this video. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because I want to save that for another video where I talk about, you know, Moyes being blindly defended by the media. But we'll talk about Moyes' interview being like... because I watched the interview. I talked about this on the match reaction about the quotes that came out, and I watched the clip that went out on Beanie Man Sports. I think that's what the YouTube channel and the Twitter account is called. Excuse me. But as I said, let's get into it. He basically said maybe they've had managers in the past that have entertained them more, but I win more. Now, I don't know what the stats of the win percentages are like. If you're talking about trophies, apart from John Lyall and Ron Greenwood, who was way before my time. Yeah, he's the best manager I've seen at West Ham. So it does sound like I'm being ungrateful. I know I get that perspective, but you have to get my perspective if you're a fan that is not a West Ham fan. If you're someone that doesn't watch West Ham week in, week out, you have to understand what we're watching week in, week out. And again, I feel like I'm repeating myself every week. But it's also not a playing football thing. Because you can play defensive, hit people on a counter, and get results. Forest have been doing that all season. But what I can't do is act like we are good on a counter anymore. Because we're not good on the counter. When was the last time you saw us good on the counter attack? I generally think it's been a couple seasons now. Probably since, like, if you forget even last season as well. Like, forget last season. We weren't good at counter attacking last season because we tried to play possession based football at the start, but because Moyes can't coach it, it didn't work. So it's not even a football thing. What it is the lack of getting the best out of the players you have, playing players in wrong positions, letting two players go that play in, like, for Moyes plays in the same position, even though Moyes isn't, even though Fornals isn't a left winger, he played there for Moyes. So that was a left winger option for David Moyes. Him and Benrahma both played there. Him and Benrahma both left. So now we've got Maxwell Cornet, who doesn't play, our only left winger, and he still doesn't play him. He has pace, he has technical ability. It's not hard to put our team now, until Paqueta's back, Ward-Prowse and Alvarez behind Bowen on the right, Cornet on the left, Kudus in the middle, behind Antonio. Or behind Danny Ings. Because Antonio's just come back. And Antonio should have done way better with that chance, don't get me wrong, but he's just come back from injury. Don't know why you'd throw him in straight away. He didn't even get a bench appearance. But it's mismanaging players. It's players that either become his favourites that end up disappearing from being his favourites, or it's players that we haven't seen in a couple months decide to become a regular starter again. This nonsense about a Ben Johnson contract, I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear Ben Johnson new contract. I'm not even trying to hear Moyes new contract. I'm not trying to hear anyone that's running out of contract right now. I don't want them to sign. Anyone that's running out this year, don't sign your contract. Maybe Fabianski, maybe another 1 year extension, but that's it. I have a feeling Fabianski might leave. I don't know why. There's a report about Jacob Steinberg reporting that Tim Steidten, we're struggling to keep hold of Tim Steidten, but with the fact that we brought in his brother in the recruitment side today, I doubt it. I doubt it. Jacob Steinberg has been a guy who flip-flops on his criticisms of David Moyes a lot. So this would be a great distraction from the media to, you know, get the heat off Moyes. We haven't won in 2024. When are we going to win in 2024? When? When is it going to happen? Brighton 0-0. Bournemouth 1-1, even though that felt like a loss. Sheffield United 2-2. Bristol City drew 1-1 at our own ground against Bristol City. Lost, was it 1-0? Yeah, 1-0 at their ground. People find this acceptable. Man United 3-0. Arsenal 6-0. 6, by the way, 6 at home. Let's not bypass that. 6 at home. And I'm not in Forest away, 2-0 at home. 2-0 away. The likes of, I've said a statement like, we'll finish above Chelsea. No matter how shit we are. Because I don't think they're good. But even that's looking unlikely. Even that prediction is looking unlikely. And I'm going to have to fall flat on my face with that prediction. Wolves are going to finish above us. Who else are going to finish above us? Brighton, Newcastle, the basic ones. Obviously Man United, obviously Tottenham, and the rest of the top 4. But who else? Who else could it be? Are we even going to get top half? Because every time we slip down the table, it's the justification for David Moyes. But he's won you the Conference League, you're still in Europa League, and you're 6th. Okay, we're not 6th anymore. He's won you the Conference League, you're in the Europa League, and now you're 7th. We're not 7th anymore. Now it's 8th, and they're still using the same reason. It's like people don't have a mind of their own when they talk online. And I will talk about the media personalities maybe tomorrow. But I'm tired of it. And a Leicester fan actually made a really, really good point. He said that it was exactly like when they were talking about Brendan Rodgers, but he won you the FA Cup and he got you into Europe twice. Brother, Leicester got relegated. I know we're not in a relegation battle right now, and we won't be this season. But if Moyes was to carry on beyond this season, next year, we're in a relegation battle. And that's a relegation battle at the start of this season. But luckily, we had a very good start to the season. In terms of our first 4 games, that when you pick up an instant 12 points, technically we're still not on 40 points yet, but we're not getting relegated. Especially with the 3 promoted teams that got promoted this year. It's probably 3 worst promoted teams I've seen ever in my life. But at the same time, next 3 home games, from what I remember, we've got Brentford next week. We've got Aston Villa as our next home game after that. We've got Everton away. We've got Burnley at home as well. We're back in the Europa League soon. I still haven't paid for my ticket yet. I'm going to go. I need to remember to do it in time. But I'm sorry, I don't see a win out of that. I think we might draw to Burnley, and Burnley are terrible. But Burnley make mistakes playing out from the back. And we don't press. So they'll be fine. And Burnley should have beaten us at their ground. They should have beaten us. In fact, they should have had 2 penalties. Because the penalty they got was actually not as bad as the challenge from Sufo that they should have got. So they should have had 2 penalties. It was 2 last-minute goals at the end that got us the win. Where's Mubama? This guy gave him a few appearances to try and give him a new contract, and then we haven't seen him since. We haven't seen him since Bristol. I'm lost with this club. I'm lost. I'm just lost on what's going on. I'm lost when it comes to game management. I'm lost when it comes to team selection, excitement, any form of entertainment. Because entertainment doesn't necessarily mean playing out from the back, playing beautiful football necessarily. When we were playing on the counter, like in lockdown, in that season in lockdown, we was moving the ball quick and crossing into the box. Move the ball quick. Declan Rice, straight to Cresswell. Cresswell, bang in the box. But we've got players now that can play a different way. And he doesn't want to do that because he can't coach it. He wants to play his way. Defensive. Liability. Everyone is looking like a liability at this club. Kudus doesn't look like Kudus anymore. Because it's Moyes. We're slowly ruining talent again. I'm bored of it. Bowen hasn't scored this year. Because he's been playing up front. He's not a fucking striker. He's not Arnautovic. You cannot convert this guy to a striker. I've even made TikToks and YouTube shorts before about Paquetá, Kudus and Bowen. Where can you fit them? But guess what? I like Ward-Prowse, but it might have to be a sacrificial lamb for Ward-Prowse to leave. Not leave the club, but just not in the starting 11. Paquetá, Alvarez, Kudus. Now it might have to be the midfield. Bowen on the right. An actual striker. For now, we'll take Antonio. But next season, get an actual striker. We've been saying this for about, all my life. Get a striker, please. Get a left winger, please. If you're not going to play Maxwell Cornet. Play Ben Johnson on the wing. Playing Souček in the 10. Playing Ward-Prowse in the 10. Playing Ward-Prowse on the left. Playing Bowen up front. Playing Kudus on the left. Playing 3 at the back when you're 3-0 down to Fulham. Like, getting a defender on. Losing, 4-0 to Arsenal. And then putting another defender on. Like, putting Mavropanos and Phillips on. By the way, Calvin Phillips. I don't give a fuck about statements. I don't give a fuck about statements, yeah? Stop. None of this. Get on with the games that you got to play. The red card was harsh. But get on with the fucking games that you need to play. Get your fucking head down. Because Lingard didn't have any of these excuses when he was on loan. Lingard came in, started scoring goals. Started giving you effective performances. Coming back from a loan when he didn't play. He didn't play forever. Played an FA Cup game against Watford under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that was it. Came in on loan, scored goals. You have no excuse. You played in the Premier League, and you're hyped as one of the best English talents for some reason. So you've got no fucking excuses either. Nay, forget. Don't take the fucking piss. Get out my club, go to Saudi Arabia, and stay there. This guy, I don't care if this guy played in the final against Fiorentina. The guy is awful. He is shit. Should we go through the mistakes again? I didn't watch the full game. But the 2 goals, you are partly at fault for both of them. Kurt Zouma, what the fuck is going on, bro? Are you really 42 in this, guys? You need to be dropped as well. I'm telling these two should be dropped for Mavropanos or Ogbonna. And they're not the best either. Aaron Cresswell, I don't want to see you play again. I know you didn't play, but I just want to remind people, Aaron Cresswell, please leave the club. Maxwell Cornet, unlucky. I kind of feel sorry for you because your career's kind of been wasted. Injury, comeback, give it a couple of games, and then everyone gets onto you, even though they gave all the excuses for Ben Ram and Fornals. I'm tired of it. But that's it from me. I've been Moyes out for 14 months. Apart from the final, when obviously I wasn't going to say second for the final, but I was Moyes out end of the season in that season. I was like, get Moyes out after the season ends. Put it this way, if Sullivan decides the next manager, it'll be a Rafa Benitez, it'll be a Graham Potter, it'll be a Gary O'Neill. If Steidert does the manager, we might have hope. We might have hope. Let's hope he doesn't go to Liverpool, because if he does, we're fucked. We have to change sporting director for the 3rd season in a row. And then we're back to Sullivan doing Sullivan things. But the reason why I haven't talked about the owner It's because I'm not going to do what Tottenham fans do. We got a good run, we're doing fine, but then we lose a bunch of games, and then they start saying Levy out. I'm not going to do this because I've always been Sullivan out for my whole time supporting West Ham. Always. From when I could ever since the stadium move, I've been Sullivan out deeply. I've been GSP out for so long. I'm not going to talk about them right now. Because we know they're culpable. I'm tired of speaking about them. Like, I haven't had to even speak about them since I've been doing this YouTube channel, because we've actually been alright since I started this channel. When we started the channel, we was a good team. But at the same time, if we have another window, like we did in the summer, where we buy everyone late, questions again, well, they should be raised anyway, because they're not sacked Moyes right now. Moyes should be sacked now. Like, there's nothing to play for. Europa League, we're not winning that, because he's fucked our squad up. Unless we see a different West Ham that usually turns up in European competitions, which we're not going to. Did you see us play against Olympiacos? Then yeah, cool. But with Paquetá coming back, this won't be his last injury this season. I'm sure Bowen and Kudus will get injured again. I'm sure Zuma will definitely get injured again. Aged will definitely get injured again. Which, who cares? If Emerson gets injured, we're fucked. If Alvarez gets injured, we're fucked. If Ward-Prowse gets injured, we're fucked. The only one you can really say is secure is the goalkeeping position, because we've got two good goalkeepers. But that's it. And yeah. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, road to 500 subscribers, and check out all the social medias, the Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.